Hey, Okie Tools here, and I got another Ratchet disassembly, lubrication, reassembly video for you. This is kind of just a special one that I wanted to do. I don't know how many of these you're going to come across out there, but if you do, I guess this will help you out. This is a Plomb Wright Field number 21. Hope I'm saying all that right. And this is what Proto was back in the day, Plumb, and then now it's Proto. So just wanted to show a disassembly video on this. A friend of mine off of the forums sent me this with a bunch of other stuff, so shout out to you. Thank you for that stuff, and thank you for this. This is great. So go ahead and get to it. Let's start disassembling it. Just these two screws right here on the back. You take those out, and then it comes apart. So back here on the back of the drive, and you just go ahead and push it out that way, it falls out the front. So here's your gear and your drive, 3H drive, and then your faceplate. It says WF-21 on it. And then here is your pawls and the selector there, and then the springs. So you got to take those out. And this thing was real dirty when I got it on the inside, and it was kind of sloppy. He had let me know that before he sent it to me, and you know, hoping I could clean it up and restore it and everything. And I think it you know, after a good cleanup with some you know, soap and water that I used, washed all that crap out, and then I have some trouble with that one. And then some oil that I use on there, that I use for my guns, some rim oil in there. I think it just looks great inside. Very nice and clean. It's not gritty or grimy anymore. Back of the faceplate was almost black. Now it's all nice and shiny. The pawls are real dirty, and now they're looking good. So let's go ahead and get into the lubrication part. I like to use some grease on mine. So just real simple, just a very little amount on the finger. That's maybe even too much. I'm going to be using just that amount, and I put it at some strategic points along the gear, and then I just kind of work it all the way around, and just enough to where it gives it a nice amount of lubrication, but not too much. Any excess I'm going to wipe off. It's looking pretty good. So and as it works itself, it'll move that around even more. So that's all I do for that. And then for the inside of these, I just do just a little bit because it kind of works its way. Put it in some strategic parts around it, and then just kind of work it in. So because the pawls are going to be moving on those inside surfaces, and so is the gear to a certain extent. So I like to get those, just kind of lubricate them up a little, not a lot. So get that real good, and then I like to get the very back of the faceplate too, just a dab, because it kind of contacts on there too, just like everything else in there. And then I get a little bit here on the pawls, just a little bit, dab will do you, a little bit on there, wipe off any of the excess, and I go ahead and work it in good. Okay, so you start out by putting your pawls back in, these little curved pieces that you can, I don't know how well you can see that, these little curved pieces, they go facing out, and go ahead and put those in place. And you start with the side that doesn't have the you know, selector that way, and then you go ahead and push it in. There it is. And then you go ahead and put your spring in. Oops. And push it down into place. Okay, and then hold it in place and work the selector over. So now it's right where it's supposed to be. Okay, now the other side. And then put its spring in place. Goes in there right nice. And then now it's time for the gear. You go ahead and take a gear, kind of move the pawl over, and there it is. And then time for your faceplate. Go ahead and take your faceplate, set it down on there, flip it over, make sure nothing falls out. Go ahead and start putting your screws back in. Nice and tight. Don't overdo it, of course, but nice and tight. Okay, there we go, and let's give her a try. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Select it back and forth a couple times. That sounds good as new right there. Oh yeah, I like to wipe it down, and there you go. Easy peasy. So that was a 3/8 drive Wright Field number 21 Plomb. Thanks for watching.